everybody. How you doing today? Thank you for stopping by Believing You're a Better podcast. And as you know, Dana, as your host, I am going to help you think of a different way about yourself. What do I mean by that? I want you to believe in yourself. I want you to believe in the power that you have that can move you forward. I want you to believe that you are here for a distinct purpose. And yes, something that you hear from my talk show is that helping you move towards your purpose, helping you to determine what your smooth moves are, what your greatness is. And today I have a gentleman here who I call a gem in our community because he helps people of the community with different types of things. And he does it with a big smile, a big heart, and a strong understanding of how life works with people and interrupts some of our dreams and motions. So today I have Darryl Morton with me, who is um, a mortgage lender. And along with him being a mortgage lender, he also helps people build their credit to a stronger point so that they can get a loan for a new home. And he also helps the community in many different ways. So thank you, Darryl, for being on my podcast here. I do consider it an honor because I know how very, very busy you are. And I like the way that you move in our community. You don't even wait for a thank you. You just move and give and give and give. And I appreciate that with you.
All right, you're welcome. Yes. Good morning, everyone. My name is Darryl Morton, and I am the CEO of Morton Development Group. In addition to me owning a mortgage company and being a partner in a real estate company, my nonprofit helps out with housing initiatives. We have several ways of helping homeowners get into homes with little or no money down. We do counseling for those with credit challenges. And another great thing that I do, we work with mental health, and I have a super initiative that I call the Mental Happiness Initiative. In addition to that, right there, I have a full distribution, and we give out food once per week to the community in the southeastern Michigan area. And we do expand, and we have expanded.
So guys, listen, I told Darryl that I was stealing his phrase, his motto, his term, mental happiness, because we when you think of mental health or every time you mention it, people go into something negative. And I'm like, wait, that is so neat. Mental happiness. So let us move towards our mental happiness. So now, Darryl, step by step, because you do have a lot of arms in the
Yeah.
community. So first, give me a little background, like what area of the city. Well, did you grow up here? Look, I don't even know. So let me back up a little bit. So Darryl and I are mutual acquaintances due to someone that we are really, really close to. And
Yes.
her name is Corey.
Yeah.
So she thought that he would be a good fit for me because I was looking for an office space. And so that's how we became acquaintances and we got to talking and we had so much in common. So now, he's my bud, I'm his go to. So, hey, that's how you build community relationships, right?
Yes.
So now, did you grow up in Detroit?
I grew up in Detroit, Michigan.
Okay,
Never left Michigan until I went to college in Ohio at Central
okay,
State University.
all right.
That was my last school that I attended
Mm-hmm.
at Central State University. I graduated from there, and I also uh, received my master's at University of Detroit Mercy.
All
So
right. Ooh,
I've been
Detroit
basically in
Mercy.
Michigan. Been in Michigan my whole life.
Okay.
I love to travel outside of Michigan,
Mm-hmm.
but I've been here. I know the
This,
culture, I know
mm-hmm.
the mentality, and I know the positives and I know the negatives. this
Okay.
area.
So now how was your high school days here?
High school days were great. I met a lot of people, a lot of good friends, had a lot of good mentors, which
Mm-hmm.
were football coaches and
Okay.
business teachers, and I have a lot of long-term friends that
Mm-hmm.
are in different sectors in the United States of their careers. A lot of great friends that I still talk to every day.
Okay.
So it was a great experience, and of course, it's a Mumford Mustangs are pretty, pretty big deal to me.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So tell me this. When you went to college, you went on a football scholarship?
Yes.
Okay. And did you ever play pro
No, I did never
or
play pro.
semi-pro?
No,
Okay.
no, I didn't. I didn't have the opportunity. I tried, but I didn't
Mm-hmm.
have the opportunity. I guess
Okay.
it kind of flipped off to my kids. I guess the big
Right,
talent
right.
went to my kids. Yes.
Because you have two boys in pro ball, right?
No, I just have one. One.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
thought the
one.
younger one was too.
No, it's just the younger one. Just the
Oh,
younger one.
okay.
Just the younger one. Yeah. And
Okay.
right now, this year, he's not going to be involved in the football on the field.
Hmm.
He works now for the Arizona Cardinals,
Oh, wow.
but
Look at
he's not
there.
on the field. He's on the other side of the business now.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Okay.
Which
Now
is the
see how
end
those
goal.
worlds
That's the end
turn?
goal. Yeah, that's
Yes.
the end goal. And
Okay.
yeah, this is his first year. He just got there a few months ago, actually.
But that's good though, because people get to actually see or understand in real time. Yeah, you might have had the desires to be a pro athlete because all athletes do. You know, that is a part of their focus. However, you can switch down to another lane and still be successful and or be a part of that organization.
Yes, I think a lot of your CEOs, a lot of your top presidents of organizations were athletes.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of successful presidents of the
Mm-hmm.
United States that were former athletes, and I think being an athlete teaches you a lot of discipline, and that kind of carries over to their
Absolutely.
careers.
Absolutely.
So being an athlete and going on the corporate side, I think it's a great asset, which is what
Mm-hmm.
I instill in him. We don't agree on everything, every move he makes, but he is a grown man.
Right,
So I
right.
let him make his mistakes.
His
But I
choices.
think he's going in the right direction. And, he's healthy. He's healthy. And he's going to be using more of the top portion of his body as opposed to the bottom portion of his body.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
more of his
right,
brain.
good. So now switch to you in regards to that same aspect. So you had a desire to play ball.
Yeah.
However, what was your major? Was your major in money or business?
My undergrad was in finance. Yes, it was. It
Okay.
started off in accounting, and I switched over to finance. Accounting
Okay.
was it got kind of boring, and I switched over to finance because it's more about banking and transaction
Hmm.
banking and allocating funds, and
Yeah.
that's what I was more interested in.
And relationships, right?
Yes, and relationships with the finance. Yep, I did my
Hmm.
first internship at a bank in Ohio, and that was it was a great. Well, I did an internship at a bank in Ohio, and I did my my second internship at the university in the cash management department.
Okay.
So I dealt with the student bills, the
Hmm.
university accounts receivables and accounts payables, distribution of grants and other funding.
Okay. All right. So now, as you moved forward through your career, you know, you have family and you built your mortgage company,
Yeah,
financing company,
yes,
along with, because we didn't mention that part, that you also are a property owner, right?
yes,
You have
yes,
property homes that you help um, people who might be struggling to find some sound
yes.
residency. So move us through that phase to get us to where you are with that today.
Okay. Well, the transition from being an entrepreneur and being a W-2 employee was very interesting. When I first got out of college, I bought when I first got out of college, actually it was kind of interesting because my mom had had died, had gotten killed. I lived with my sister. So from there, living with my sister, the first thing I said, let's kind of help each other out financially.
Mm-hmm.
She was like a second mother to me. Then from there, I started buying property, bought property from my grandparents, and just started keep going on as in the meantime working a W-2 job as well. So everything I did, I always tried to do the entrepreneur side, but the W-2s had to pay the main bills. So
Okay.
I always transition back and forth and doing it simultaneously to keep everything
Mm-hmm.
going. And I would always look at properties as an investment. And I also watched my friends and families with their financing and their financial literacy. That was
Okay.
something else that kind of played into where I'm at today.
All right. Okay.
So,
So you took me down a lane with a lot of different stops. So
okay.
back up for me. You said you lost your mom and lived with your sister. So how much older is your sister?
She was like almost I can't think she's maybe like 8 years older than
Okay.
myself.
Okay.
And she recently passed last year. But she was kind of she could cook. Not saying anything about my mom. She can cook better than my mom. She was the real deal. And then
Okay.
my mom she wasn't as aggressive as my mom, so she was always kind of like the soft
Low
mom.
key.
So it was cool. So it was just cool, being with her
Hmm.
and raising her son, which I almost called my own because I was with him all the time.
Okay.
So I did that right there, and then I just kept building up and kept building up. Got married, had children, and I
So you had
always
graduated from college at that time?
yeah, I was graduated from college, so technically she didn't have to let me live. Like she could have let me live on the side of the road. She looked out
Okay.
for me.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
So yeah, so it was either there or go, stay where I was and get
Mm-hmm.
an apartment, but it was just about helping each other out. That was the
Okay.
whole thing.
All right, all right. So now let's look at that in regards to your mental health, your emotional happiness as you were going through that phase. Your mom had just passed, you were grieving, and like you said, your sister, she didn't really have to let you live with her. She could figure you a man, do your thing.
Right.
So
Right.
tell me, how was that transition for you emotionally and mentally?
What, as far as my mom or as far as with my sister?
With both aspects because you were dealing with both at the same time, right?
Yeah, yeah. I was toward my senior year when I was getting ready to graduate with my
Hmm.
mom. I was still in college when that happened.
Okay.
So that was before graduation and everything. So yeah,
Oh
I probably
wow.
failed a
Okay.
couple of classes because I probably missed a lot of school, failed classes, had to go to summer school in order to
Hmm.
graduate. So
Okay.
that's going, when you have a tragedy like that, that's going to be in your head for 20 years. It never goes away. Tragedies
Right.
we see every day. We see the things of kids getting, people getting murdered at the mall. That's going to be with that family for the rest of their life. They can
Yes.
smile, laugh, dance, drink, travel, but it's always going to be in the back of your head.
Hmm.
And which goes back to me, you can put your head down with your mental wellness, or you can put your head up with the mental happiness and like, well, I had a great mother. She taught me a
Yes.
lot. She taught me
Yes.
a lot about discipline. So I can put my head down, mental wellness. I need help. My mom is gone. What am I going to do? So that really is what brought everything to me today. Those
Hmm.
type of things, those real life experiences that happen in addition to other things, and make sure you have a choice. You have a
Okay.
choice, with your mind, because your mind is a machine that you can kind of control,
Okay.
and
Control or and manage.
and
And
manage that.
here's the other part. It's not saying that you are not to feel. You are
Yes,
supposed to feel the hurt. You are supposed to be able
yes,
to acknowledge the hurt, but not
yes,
stay in it. Don't let the hurt be the only focus of your day.
exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
you have to.
All right. So then after graduating, you lived with your sister, and then did you move when you got married, or did you move before that?
I moved when I got married.
Okay.
I moved when I got married.
All
Yes.
right. All right. And
Yeah,
so you
so I
all
moved out
built
of God.
stuff together. Okay.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, with the family and all that, which was a great time, getting
Good.
that first kid and all that. So yeah, so I did that. I moved in, directly from one home to a new home.
To your own
Yes,
home. Okay.
a family
So,
home. Yes, exactly.
right. So now take me through, at what point did you see yourself as a mortgage lender along with being a landlord?
Well, being a landlord was never my goal. It was just a situation that happened. I never wanted to be a landlord.
Okay.
Um, as far as the point about being an entrepreneur, it was always in me from day one.
Mm-hmm.
In my youth, it was always there. But being a property owner was something that I always felt like buying property. You have some type of wealth. I don't think you have
Yes.
to I don't think you have to be a homeowner and own a home to say I made it or not made it in the world. You don't have to
Mm-hmm.
own a home. But I felt like home ownership and property ownership, whether it be residential or commercial, very important, especially in my community. I'm
Okay.
African American, so my community, I felt like it was very important to own property,
Yes.
to own property.
Yes.
So
Now walk
that's
us through that with in reference to, because you are a strong, good example of um a person with a sound mind, a strong focus, and you execute on those desires to build up as
yes.
opposed to tearing down. So when we speak about, like you just said, the choices that we need to make, what are the emphasis that you like to bring towards Black men in regards to managing their emotions, getting constructive criticism, accepting constructive criticism as they make life decisions and or try to do as you did and move in a different lane from finance to um, you know property owner to a strong arm in the community helping some families that are in need.
Well, when it comes to that, it's kind of broad because as a man, you have to be built for it mentally. You have to be built for it. And you have to have a desire to want to do those things.
Okay.
You have to have a desire to want to be better and to get better every day. And everyone is not going to have that, but you do want to push it. And that's the thing about it when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to, you know, the mental happiness. Every person, no matter what, you can only lead them, but you can't make them do it. So for a person that has a desire to win and improve, the biggest thing is the communication, over communication,
Okay.
not holding anything in. But if you really, you want to get around groups of people that are doing something positive, you have a choice to hang around, everyone maybe have a situation where you have friends or family members that are just good where they're at. But then
Mm-hmm.
you have to kind of try to move in a direction where people are not, you have a negative group and you have a positive group. You want to move into the sector of people and friends that are in the positive lane.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to um, the pressure of being a African American man who wants to strive, that's the point. This is where this is the part that I can speak on. You have a lot of great men out here that are trying to do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest thing is that with the world is, as I said, the world is against Black men. It is to a certain degree, but there are also things that can offset that with skilled trade, with being in the community, being into a local church that building just a group of positive people. When you're
Okay.
hurting inside, find a stream to to let it out. Don't hold it in and bring the anger into your household.
Okay.
Those are things that are, it's not self-taught, but those are things that I bring out when I have workshops and discussions.
Okay. So now tell me this. Do you do you have a men's group or generally those mental happiness workshops that you do? I know they're men and women, but do you ever have a specific group that's just for the men?
That's the newest thing that I'm doing. That's a great point that you brought up, Dana, because it was scheduled for June, and I collaborated with another organization,
Okay.
and it was men and the youth. So
Okay.
I am personally going to start it with my organization. No partnerships where I'm going to do that,
Mm-hmm.
and also have a couple of pastors that are going to work with me as well,
Okay.
and to really put that in effect. There's been a lot of discussion about men's mental health locally and nationally about that. But
Mm-hmm.
yes, Morton Development Group, we will be doing that and pushing the mental happiness initiative
Okay.
to show how the positive actions that we can do will bring the impact to
Okay.
our minds. And a lot of things is based on, I can't believe it. The biggest thing that I feel like is going on is what we listen to in the media, and
Oh,
what we listen
okay.
to in social media and in the news media.
Mm-hmm.
Those right there will affect you and make a person feel negative. So
So,
yes, we do have that. We are putting that together. We're putting together another one. So that was in June. So the one in June, I did the partnership. I think we're going to do it like in November.
all right. All right. So my concern is that men understand it's like you said, it's not good to keep it bottled inside. You need to say what you mean what you say, and walk in that space, walk in that strength of whatever it is. Your word is your word. And if someone can't count on you for your word, why should they believe you at any other time? Right?
Right.
So, as far as the self identifying what they're feeling and what they're thinking, because we don't do that with our men. We don't say, well, how you feeling? And you're going to give me, oh, I'm fine. I'm straight. I'm all right. Okay, what does that mean? What does fine mean? What does
Yeah.
straight mean? I shouldn't have to pull it apart to understand, well, you're having a decent day today because of this, and this, but you really want to yell at something. You really want to smash a hole in the wall. I don't need you
Right.
smashing holes in my wall, but I do need for you to talk to me to let me know what's going on. So,
Right.
how will you help them to understand they do have to be vocal, not when, and not only when they're angry, because the anger, right? We know this. That's a secondary emotion. First, you were feeling embarrassed, or you just tired, or like you said, they're not feeling appreciated. They might feel they looking down or being targeted. And then what do we see? All we see is anger. So how will you help them to walk through that pathway of being seen in a very vulnerable way?
Well, first thing, it's kind of that statement right there is kind of hard because we deal with so many different segments. So you
Mm-hmm.
have you have the person that's suffering. Then you have the person that has a diagnosed mental health
Yes.
issue that
Yes.
they may deny or want to get medication for or
Mm.
want to get counseling.
Yes.
That falls into a different bracket.
Yes.
And that's what I've learned. You have a lot of successful men out here that are doing great things, have families, but they still, no matter what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
their mental happiness is because they have something going on with their, a chemistry and chemical imbalance in their brains. And that's a
Mm-hmm.
mental health issue right there.
Mm-hmm.
So you can still talk to that person, but until they go out and seek counseling, then that's not going to be able to be resolved. But for the
Mm-hmm.
person that's right there that does not have any symptoms like that, you just really want to build up a lot of peer groups of positive people. The
Okay.
more positivity you're surrounded by, the better you'll be when you walk out of that room and you walk out into this world. You
Okay.
can do the
Experience
counseling.
them to something
Yeah,
different.
it's always something that there's always initiatives. It's like something called call a friend. Everyone should call a
Mm-hmm.
friend,
Mm-hmm.
and then you got people that are on a certain pedestal. They won't answer the phone for one of their buddies that they've known because they figure
Mm-hmm.
like, well, I'm too far up. I can't really waste any time dealing with his problems. So it's a whole whirlwind of issues and everything. What we offer here is the
Okay.
peer group, and we bring in people to talk in workshops.
All
We
right.
have people. Just for instance, one of the I believe, I don't know if you attended it or not, but we had something not for men, but it was for everyone. And we had
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Sabrina. She did this whole fun thing about colors and everything. It was
Okay.
great. It was great. It was men and women. So my thing with men only, I want to bring it with the discussion of talking about bringing it into sports, bringing it into social, and bring it where everyone talks. You want to leave out of there not knowing five people. You want to leave out of there knowing, having an introduction to five other people, other men. So
Right.
it's mostly, I
Okay.
think the biggest thing is just letting the communication, having somewhere, if you're a family man, you're dealing with working somewhere, you got depression, you come home, don't want to speak to your wife, you play with your kids, but you're holding all that stuff in. But if you got an outlet and we have a speaker, just say we get a speaker that comes in and the person comes in and speaks about positivity. It was for like an
Mm-hmm.
hour.
Mm-hmm.
We have food, we have beverages, we
Yes.
talk about things, and everybody just leaves out happy. People will let everyone talk about their negatives, but okay, we get that. What's happy about it?
Right.
Okay,
Right.
what's
Pull out
happy
what's,
about it?
yeah. Yep.
That's what
What's
we got
good.
to pull it out. You got to pull out the happiness because if not, there's nothing else there.
Mm-hmm. You
It's a
intertwine
challenge
it.
for
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Good. Good. And I think that the open atmosphere, so then sort of, I guess that's because, like the, what is it? AA and NA, those groups and grief support groups, like you said,
Yes,
you got a circle of anywhere from what, 7, 10, 12 people, but
yes,
everybody thinks they're alone. And it's like,
everybody does.
clearly you're not the only one because we got 10 people right here. So guess
Mhm.
what? There are meetings going all over the state, all over the country, all over the world. You're not by yourself. Just
Yeah.
reach out. Like, take my hand,
Well,
take my hand.
yeah. So
Yeah.
one of the things that we'll be doing at Morton Development Group, just say we get a group of, we usually, most of my workshops is no less than like 25 people. So
You
just
have a
say,
good amount of folks that
yeah,
come to your
right.
workshops. You
Yes,
do.
and I'm glad and grateful for that. The thing is that I would bring them in. So it's so many different things. Some people say, well, make myself feel better. I'm gonna get a shot of
Mm-hmm.
tequila, Crown Royal, whatever, and have a drink.
Right.
Or I'm gonna go smoke some weed. I'm gonna smoke some weed and make me feel better.
Right.
But the thing is still harder. So those are stress relievers. My example would be for me is to bring everyone in here and let's figure out everyone come up with different things that will make them feel better outside of the things that'll probably eventually
Mm-hmm.
tear them down. So
Yes.
we'll, like so in my scope of things, I'll have some dumbbells. And I was like, okay, so meditate, close your eyes, and let's just do 10 dumbbell. Just use 10 dumbbells and curl,
Okay.
and think about everything and just slowly breathe. That will bring out the stress. You're breathing, you're using
Mm-hmm.
dumbbells, whatever you're doing.
Okay.
And so that's going to be one example of what we'll be doing is
Okay.
talk, use
That's
exercise
nice.
to bring the mental happiness because the thing about exercise is most of the time if you're doing something it's going to be something. If your goal, it'll make you happy. If you lose weight, if you get more muscle tone, or if you get
Mm-hmm.
more cardiovascular,
Yes. Just having more activity.
airflow.
Yes.
Yeah, so that'll make you
Yes.
feel good. But we won't sit around and drink and talk about how bad it is, how bad the president is treating black
Right.
men or
We
men
don't
in
need to,
general.
no, because that's not helping.
Because that's there every day. So we'll do that right there. I'm also thinking maybe having just a walk group because it's mainly for
Okay.
it's for all men, but I know the concentration is African American men, but it's for all men because nowadays, from what we're seeing, is the effect is so great right now of
Mm-hmm.
being, it's the greatest thing in the world is being to me is being a black man. The greatest thing in the world.
All right.
The worst thing in the world to happen to um, to let someone bring your spirits down. You know to
Mm-hmm.
um, just strip you down of your masculinity, and you have to figure out a
And
way. This is
identity.
you
Yeah.
know this is one thing, but the good thing about it, I am a man. I can do this, and I can provide. I can go find, if this job doesn't work out, I can go find something else. If I'm not happy, if this friend doesn't call me back, hey, I'll find a complete stranger and befriend that person. So we have to make it. We have to make it in this men's group about happiness. If you don't have happiness, if you don't push happiness, it's so easy for that. I'm not going to say it's Satan. It's so easy for that black cloud to come around.
Right.
It's so
Right.
easy.
And that's for
So
all of
easy.
us. For all of
Yeah.
us.
It's
Your
so
thoughts
easy
and your
for it to come.
emotions. Yeah.
Yes. It's so easy.
Directing. Directing
Yeah.
those
And
behaviors and
yes.
actions. Yes, sir. Okay. All right. So so now, so see, I didn't know if you had an actual men's group. So you got a men's group, then you have your workshops that encompass everybody, all ages, along with your what is it? Your pantry, your food pantry.
Oh, yeah. The food pantry, and the food pantry. Just speaking of that right there. I have a gentleman. Actually, he said it's his wife also. He came in, just a nice man. I don't care about what he did in the past. He
Hmm.
needed food for his family. I had him come up one day. Someone sent him there. Someone sent him there,
Okay.
and he's like, "Yeah, I did time and this and that." He came in with a tether, and I really am like, "Okay," came in with a tether. Okay, so
Hmm.
it's obvious. And then so I
Do
talked
you
to him,
have
and I
to
said, "Yeah."
interview you don't interview them for your food pantry, right?
I
They
don't.
could
I know.
just
I get
walk up,
basic.
right?
They can walk in. I get basic information, so I can have it for my information, my data, so I can
Oh,
get
okay, for
more funding.
your statistics, yes,
And
sir.
funding. Yes, I
Okay.
need that right there. But the person came, called me. That he said, "Look, I got an emergency. We don't get our whatever I think it's called the SNAP benefits. It was pushed back, and we don't have any food for our family." He said it was
Okay.
his wife, and she said, actually, I was incarcerated before, also. We're really set back. He came. I wasn't here. He came and got a bunch of food, but he just had to talk to me, and I said, "Hey, what are you doing next Thursday? I would love to have you and your wife to be volunteers." He said, "I would love to do that." And he
Okay.
came in and worked so hard. I was like, and he said it made him feel so much better.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yes, yeah, it made him feel so much better. And it was like that was the day that it was like this big smog. Actually, I was sick that day, and I
Oh, last week
yeah,
with the
and they just sat out
Canadian
there,
fires.
and he was so happy. And then he got a bunch more food. He's like, "I would do this anytime." And I just looked at his face. He was always a positive. He's always a positive person because I don't even. I think I just found out his name that day. But that's a form of mental happiness because he can say, "Well, I did this. I got
Yes.
this tethered. What I did was really bad. I'm doing this, but guess what? I came and did volunteer." Now I'm getting ready to call him and find out who his parole officer is because I
Okay.
want to make that known to his parole officer that this man is trying to do something. He didn't have to do that.
Right.
So I
Right.
know when you're talking about mental wellness, he's like, "Man, I did this. I can't believe I got caught up like this at my age. I'm doing this, and all this stuff from
Hmm.
the streets is coming back on me." But now he has a mental happiness, and that's another form of initiative. Bring a person in that's in a negative, and bring him into a positive situation.
Yes.
So that's how you
Yes.
convert it.
Yes. That's good. I know I talked to you before about my being a parole officer, and
Yes,
it is difficult sometimes to help those guys when they're coming home, and especially the women because it's much fewer um, agencies that help the ladies, and if they do, it's very short and few, you know. But it's hard for the guys as well. So
yes,
the agent would probably they would be happy to hear, oh, he stumbled upon some community service. And that lets them
Yeah.
know, hey, he's trying to stay out of trouble. He
Right.
is keeping
Yeah.
himself busy. And I think when different entities work with corrections in that manner, that does make things go a lot easier for them because we expect for them to come home and be right on all
Yeah.
essence of life, be right.
Right.
And it's like,
Yeah.
well, you just sent them home with nothing in their hand, nothing in their
Yeah.
pocket. They don't have
Right.
anywhere to live. We got to get them some commercial placement. But
Right.
how can they be right and be
Yeah.
right in their spirit and in their
Yeah.
mind? Because
Right.
everybody that goes to prison isn't just some low life or anything. They're educated people. They're
hmm
veterans. And like you said,
Yeah.
a lot have some type of mental illness going on that they have not addressed. So
Yeah.
it makes it harder for them to get
Yeah.
jobs, for them to get placements. So for you to have that open arm to assist, even though you might think, well, that's just a little thing, but that's a big thing in their lives. It
Oh
really
yeah.
is.
It is, and I talked to him. I talked to his wife, and I said, "Look, I don't know anything about what you did." I said, "I know it was bad because I know wasn't a misdemeanor; it was a felony." And I said, "That doesn't make you a felon. That makes you have a felonious moment in your life." I said,
Hmm.
"That's at that time." He
Okay.
looked at me like I was crazy, but I was serious. That was a
Hmm.
felonious moment at that time, but that doesn't make you a lifetime felon. Now, if you did
Okay.
something torturous and you did something really bad, there's no excuse for it, but it wasn't. It wasn't,
Hmm.
like that, because he wouldn't be home if it was anything really, really crazy.
Well, yeah, he might be home. That
He
they
might be
don't they
home
don't
and
keep
still
them in
got
there
it.
forever.
Yeah,
And
they
that's
got
the
it.
thing. So and that's something else again for our community to understand. Yep, they went to prison, but the majority of folks that go to prison, they're coming home. So what are they
hmm
coming home to? I'm not
hmm
saying, hey, cut them all loose, but I am saying they have to be prepared for when they come home. You can't just
Yes.
expect them to come home and what? The way that life has changed. I've had men that have come home, they had been in prison before cell phones. And then they come out and they don't even know how to use a cell phone, let
Right. Yeah.
alone all the apps and all of that stuff. That's
Right.
frustrating. When they
It
went
is.
to prison, Northland and all the malls were still here. They come
Right.
home and going into those big box stores, I literally had guys on my caseload that had panic attacks in
Yeah,
Meyer,
I can
in
imagine. I can
Walmart.
imagine.
They couldn't
Yeah, I
handle
can
that. And
imagine.
I told them it's
Yeah.
all right. You don't have to go to
Yeah.
the grocery store with your girl. You need to let her know that though. You need to let her
Yeah.
know what's going on so she can assist with managing that
Right.
situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's overwhelming for a regular person, so I know it
Right.
is. To go
Exactly.
to Walmart, oh my
Exactly, doggone it. Look, 2 o'clock on a Saturday. No,
Yeah.
no, no,
Right.
don't do one.
Yeah.
No.
So I totally understand. I didn't think about that, but that's something great because I didn't think about that. But yeah, they come out and
Mm-hmm.
it's be like that old movie called "I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker," where the guy came out of prison, had on glass heels, the fish broke out of his
Right.
glasses, and people were making jokes about him. So, but yeah, that is so a person it's incarcerated and they come out. Like I said, they do have to let go.
Some
That's a real
old
interesting.
thinking. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's the old thinking, and then they have to they still have demons of what they did. I did talk to a long-term felon. He was in my building, when I did the men's thing, and he said
Hmm.
he was incarcerated at 18 years old, and he did like
Okay.
I think close to 30 years, and he was told that he was part of a criminal enterprise, so he was incarcerated, and he came home,
Okay.
and we talked everything, and we reflected on a lot of different things, and he told me how it's so different with the way the crime is right now,
Hmm.
and I asked him how did he feel, and he said he's been home for like 3 years now. But he said first he was down, but then when he got
Hmm.
around organizations that are trying to help youth, he
Yes.
said that's been his happiness, and
Okay.
that's what he does, and that's what he does, and so he's finding a way. He's finding a way, and you would
Right.
never know. You would never know. But at 18 years old, I think that's kind of young to go to jail and do 30 years,
Depending on
but
what
it
they
happens.
did. It might have
Yeah.
some when you hear those stories about a drug deal going wrong, well,
Uh-huh.
what's the wrong? Somebody got shot, somebody got
Exactly.
killed.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, that those
Mhm.
particular crimes come with a large sentence.
Yeah.
And you
Right. And
have to
it's,
think too, with some of those kids going in that early, if they don't get with someone there in the prison system that
uh-huh.
assists them with that mind,
Mhm.
they come out. Okay, they come out there 40, 45.
Mhm.
They're still 19 in their
Oh,
in
yeah.
their head.
Yeah.
And
If they
so
don't get any
then we
education,
dealing with
yes.
this man, he's 40, 45 years old, coming out. The world is totally different. And for real, he's still like a kid. That's
Yeah.
a lot to deal with and a lot for him to deal with and his family and friends because you
Yeah.
thinking, well, he's 40. Why is he acting like this? Well, how is he supposed to act? He
Yeah.
was someplace
Yeah.
where they told him what to do, when to do, how to do it all day, every day.
Yeah. Right.
Now he has to make
Exactly.
decisions on his own.
Yeah.
Some of that transition is kind of hard. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It is. It
So
is.
for you to
So,
have those type of arms where you can help them migrate back into the community and be productive, that's a big help, a very big help.
yeah. So, yeah. And that's something that I was kind of working on because I have a brother that was incarcerated for a while as well. And I know
Okay.
the frustration that he has. He's very quickly frustrated, but he just likes his peace. He likes his peace.
Hmm.
He likes his peace, but he definitely have to kind of get used to his happiness and everything.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
so my biggest thing is what I like to do, what I will do, and what I want to do, and want to continue to do through my nonprofit is just to, as well as I do with the women and the general public, is to make sure that I can really contribute to what the mindset of the male, what we have to go through as a whole,
Okay.
what we have to deal with as a whole, because it's the peer pressure, it's it's just the culture of it's the culture of the social media, it's the culture
Hmm.
of what you see on TV,
Hmm.
it's the
Hmm.
culture of relationships, it's what we see in just day-to-day friendship, how to raise your children if you're doing the right thing, if you have children, and just to be able to have stuff, just sitting in your mind, just living in your brain, and you don't have a way to bring it out.
Right. Right.
Bring it out. You can, and like I say,
Get those thoughts and emotions. Yeah.
yeah, you can
Processing.
always think of it. The negative is going to be around you all the time, but there's
Hmm.
so much happiness to have. So much
Okay.
happiness. If a person is on the street struggling, homeless, guess what? There's a place for you to get a meal now. If a
Hmm.
person doesn't have any food, doesn't have any clothes, there's a place that you can get clothes. So you can say, well, I don't have this and I don't have that. But guess what? You can go get clothes. Now they have free haircuts. They have free showers that you can get. So you can be down, but there's still a blessing on the other side,
Okay.
when it comes to the mental happiness.
So
And
give everybody your contact. So what days do you have the food pantry? What days and locations do you have the food pantry?
okay, on the food pantry, we have it uh, each Thursday now. It used to be twice a month. Twice a month. I decided to have it on 4 days a month, which is on Thursdays between the hours of 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock
Okay.
on Thursdays. My building where we have it is at 19934 Harper Avenue, Harper Woods, Michigan.
Okay.
And the other 2 days, which are the first and the third, that's with my partnership with Forgotten Harvest. Anyone from the
Okay.
southeastern Michigan area, you know about
Yeah,
Forgotten
Forgotten
Harvest. It's
Harvest. Absolutely.
one of the greatest organizations in the United States.
They are
Uh,
so
they're
nice.
super. Yeah,
Yes.
I love Forgotten Harvest.
Mm-hmm.
So I do my distribution at a church, which is called Peace and Goodwill Church, and that's in Harper Woods. We use
Okay.
their facility, we use their parking lot, and
That's
we
near the service drive too, right?
that is right down the street on the service drive as well.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so we do the distribution there on the first and the third. and that's at Peace and Goodwill Church. And I don't
Mhm.
the address to Peace and Goodwill Church. I can give you now, but we do that, and we usually have at the one with Forgotten Harvest, we usually have at least 150 cars coming through and families coming through. The
All
address is
right.
the address is 20955 Bournemouth, Bournemouth, and that's in Harper Woods, and we use the back parking lot as well.
All right.
And so when I do it at my building, that's called a pop-up because it's something that I never really planned on doing, but because the demand has been
Mm-hmm.
so great, I decided to do pop-ups. And with the
Okay.
pop-ups, we usually have about maybe 60 people who come by. They walk, or maybe, everybody, the door's
In
open
that
for
two
everyone.
hours? In that 2 hours you
Uh,
have 60 people come?
Yes, yeah. Because
Oh, okay.
sometimes people will call and say, "Look, I don't got work until 5," and we'll wait. We'll wait.
Oh,
It's
all
like,
right.
okay, because we'll have the food. We have the food.
Mm-hmm.
We get great donations from some of the major stores, and it's so we'll wait. We'll wait on it. We get good quality
Okay.
food,
That's
and
nice.
yeah, we just try to extend ourselves. There's been times that we've done pop-ups right before Christmas. We've done pop-ups on New Year's Eve.
Okay.
We've done pop-ups the day before 4th of July, and we just constantly put it out there, so no one has to suffer, because there's going to be
Right,
times that
right.
the money is low, or people who get the bridge cards may not get it in time, but you
Okay.
still want to have some type of food for your
You
family
have
to
two
eat.
different locations. That's good. That's
Yes,
good.
for now we're going to get like two more. Actually, you know what? I apologize. We do have one more location. We have one more location. We do it on Sundays, and it's
Mm-hmm.
at Plymouth Church in Detroit. I just forgot about that. We
Is
do it
that
at
on
Plymouth Church, and
Plymouth and
that's
Meyer?
no, Plymouth Church is actually in Detroit on Warren off of I-75, and it's Reverend Hood. It's Reverend Hood, and it's located at
Oh,
600
one in
600 East
75.
Warren,
Right there by the
600 East Warren.
36th district, I mean third circuit court.
It's just if you're coming on Woodward, you're going to I-75. It's right there on East Warren. It's
Okay.
corner church. Yeah, right there, the medical center and all that. Yeah,
Oh, at that
yeah.
end. Okay, that
Yeah,
end.
so we do one on Sundays there from like it's really until the food is gone. We
All
usually
right.
start at about 11 o'clock, say 11 to 12, and we do it in the basement.
Okay.
We do it in the basement. That's just something extra that I've been doing in partnership with their church, and
All
so
right. Good.
that's every third. That's every Sunday. You come in the basement. You live in that area. You can walk. You can drive, and you definitely get some extra food there.
Okay.
And
All
I'm
right.
glad
So now,
you asked me the locations, because I totally forgot about that.
yeah. Yeah, so they can folks can come stop by. Now give
Yeah.
the information for your workshops for mortgage qualifying.
Well, my website for the mortgage company would be the name of the company is called Michigan Exchange, and the website is www.mixchange.loan, LOAN, not .com, not
All right.
.org, .loan, LOAN.
Dot loan.
So www.mixchange.loan.
Okay.
And
Thank you for that.
we have a brick and mortar office as well. The new world order is everything is in tech. We can do applications over the phone. We can do it. I can send you an application link. You can close without ever shaking my hand. You can do that. But for a
Really?
person that wants to sit down and get the feel of how do I do this step by step, we do that also. We do face-to-face appointments, which is something very rare right now in the financing world. Everything is online, but we will do one-on-one
Okay.
meetings for the mortgages.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much for that. All
Okay.
right. So I appreciate you
Okay.
giving my listeners something to focus on and think about. And I want you to be sure to keep me in touch with the workshops. And if you need me to help
Okay. I
you with
definitely will.
something for the
Yeah.
men's
No. Yeah.
wellness
We'll
group,
have you
yeah.
come in. Yeah. Well, we want to. I definitely want to. We started a conversation. and you're going to have to finish it, about the prisoners that come out and everything, because you know about that. I
Mm-hmm.
just experienced it, and I felt like they should, that situation. But that might be something I want to bring into, because if a man is really open to making a situation mentally better, I'm open
Mm-hmm.
to helping them out.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
definitely, I'm not a therapist. I'm not licensed. My whole thing is just the mental happiness.
Right.
You know
And you don't
that.
have to do, it's not, hundreds, thousands come home. You don't have to address all of them. But if
Yeah,
you were able to help 50, you know what I mean?
yes,
That's a tremendous help right there.
yeah. I
Tremendous.
believe that.
So
It definitely
yeah.
is.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely is.
Right.
It
And you're
definitely
in
is.
Hopper Woods, so that's Wayne County.
That's
So
Wayne County. Yes.
yep. And
Yep.
that's the biggest county that have returning citizens.
Wayne County does.
Yeah. Wayne
Is that
County is
right?
the biggest county in the state, so we have the most folks coming home.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't
Look, the
really think
most that's
about
in there, and the most coming home.
that. Yeah, I didn't know that. But like I said,
Yes.
if the crime wasn't too terrible, I believe they have opportunity, because you have people that go to jail for tax evasion. They go in for,
For all types
just
of
certain.
things. I mean, you got people who went to prison for drunk driving.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
exactly.
again, somebody they either told, and when I say told up some
Uh-huh.
property, or somebody got hurt.
Yeah, and that's not good. Yeah, that's not good at
Yes.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So
no, that's
it ranges. It
mhm,
ranges.
right.
All right,
So
sir. Well, I just want to thank you. So, all right, guys, you know where to reach me at letstalkwithdanabell.com, or you can reach me at believeinyourbetter.podcast.com. All right, take care.
thank you.